Shit went down.
I'll tell you in a second here.
Shit went down. OBS just crashed on me. It says we're
Yep.
streaming.
Yep, we're back live.
So we're back live. That was still odd. Not gonna
And
lie.
I got to say real quick, all the issues that I was having with my computer behind the scenes, I got them fixed.
Yay!
Thanks a little bit with your help, but I actually had to contact Microsoft. I actually had to go to Microsoft and say, look, what the fuck is going on with my computer? I can't do anything. Anything that you would normally go through the start menu
Yeah.
to get to. So anything in the settings category, even my volumes, I couldn't get to them. I couldn't do anything on this computer. And I ended up having to totally reinstall Windows 10, but
Yay.
I'm finally back. And now I can check and listen to make sure that our audio is working on Twitch.
Which is good to have a backup.
Oh. Yes. Want to say hi to Big Tank. He says, did y'all break shit already? Yes,
no,
he did.
No, OBS broke actually, which is weird.
And I want to say hi to User, who is chiming in. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, it's not User.
Chiming in from Facebook. It says, "Hi, Matt."
It's not User. That's Amy. Hello, Amy.
It says User. It says User on my end.
Does it? Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. That means Facebook is being a little bitch.
Hi, Amy.
So hi, Amy.
Thanks for coming in.
Good to see you as always. So yeah. But before OBS crashed, the
episode 9,
and I did tell everybody that I have a feeling I know what JT is going to rank this episode.
Yes,
and that we're going to be on the same page on it.
Right. Want to say hi to Bunky, who just joined us in the chat room. Great to have you along, Bunkster.
Mr. Bunky, about time you're back. Fair season's over, so he's returned to us. You know I'm right.
Yeah, he doesn't. His shithouse sucking mission has been greatly reduced.
It's all done now. It's all done. That's the beauty of it. It's all done. So let's get down to the nitty gritty here.
Let's do it.
Episode 9 of this wonderful show that Dennis, also known as Western Echo, despises. He really does. He despises She-Hulk. And I
don't get why, but it comes down to personal preference and things.
Absolutely, so. It does. Absolutely, it does. So to start it off, we see the previously, and they do the recap and everything, which you can skip on Disney Plus. By the way, She-Hulk, Marvel, and Disney Plus do not sponsor this show, but it'd be really cool if they did. And they start off with the old Incredible Hulk intro. It's got the 70s theme. It's got 4:9 aspect ratio.
Oh yeah, I mean they went full blown 70s original really Hulk series.
They really did, and it worked out great. It did. It worked out fantastic.
It did. At first, I'll be honest with you. I've watched it twice. I watched it originally with Kay. And then I watched it again tonight just to make sure that, refresh the brain with everything that happened and all. And I wasn't too crazy about it the first time I watched it.
Why is that?
That's kind of cheesy. They've stayed away from doing that so far, which I was happy about. But when I watched it the second time, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I still thought it was cheesy, but it wasn't as bad.
Okay. I can see your point on that one. I can see your point on that.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked.
Yes, it did. It did work.
What they were going for, it worked, because let's face it, the She-Hulk is a break the fourth wall type of show.
Right.
I mean, after it all, it is a lawyer show. We've established that in the first episode. In the very first episode, we've established that.
And confirmed in the second one, but then they kind of let it go for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yes, and that's okay. That's okay. Because, yeah, we did see her in court in a couple of the episodes, so it wasn't fully a lawyer show, but it worked out to our advantage. And once the commercial / intro / dream sequence / whatever you want to call it ended, we see Jennifer waking up in damage control. And there you can see the pic right there to the left of the screen, or to my right, depending on how you want to look at it. But it's basically the whole recap was everything that happened at the gala to now, and now she's in damage control Supermax prison, exactly where Blonsky used to be.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense to me.
How do you think, besides the fact that she's there,
yes,
locked up like that,
mm-hmm.
but how do you think that would hit her mentally as she's realizing I'm in the same place that my client was? How would that hit you mentally?
That's a really good question.
If it was me, and I hate to say it this way, but it's the only way I can say it, it would fuck me up.
Really? How so?
It would. It would.
How so?
Well, the fight that I put up, and, everything that I went through to come up with this case, and with the plan for him to be able to get out and everything else.
Yep.
And all of a sudden being on the other side of the table. That's like going from being the person doing the interviews to being the person getting interviewed.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a big switch to go from one side of the bar to the other.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. It would I think it would mess everybody up, to be honest.
I think it would have at least a little bit of an effect on anybody.
Sure.
And the fact that, look how far away from her they stay.
Well, they can't go over that line.
Right. They can't go past that line, but
remember that.
The lawyer girl, the lawyer lady, she's close to it, but the other two are like way back in the back going, okay.
Are you okay? You're not going to hurt us, are you?
So, whereas, when she was in there with Blonsky, she was right up on the edge of the zone that she could move up to.
Well, because Blonsky doesn't scare her.
Right.
That's the thing. Blonsky doesn't scare her at all.
Yeah. And there's a lot of little things in here that, if you look at things from a mental standpoint,
mm-hmm.
would really mess with a person.
Sure, absolutely.
So, to see how she handles it was, to me, was pretty cool. The way that she handled just the fact that she's in there,
Yeah. Well, the other thing is when it came to this particular scene, they're all there and they're like, listen, they're offering you a plea deal, but you can never be She-Hulk again.
Right.
And with that, I was like, okay, where are they going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you do this off of one attack? And, actually, it wasn't even an attack.
Yeah.
I would say it was an emotional disturbance.
it was one bad day.
Yeah, well, that was the thing.
And the thing of it is just like in today, one action they judge everything off of.
Yeah.
Everything that she's done in the past, all the good stuff she's done in the past, you just totally she's an out of control Hulk.
Yes, she's a Hulk.
She's a Hulk. The key thing is the out of control Hulk.
Right.
That's the phrase that they keep throwing out there.
We know she's not out of control. We've seen that she's not out of control. So the fact that they were doing that was interesting to say the least. Well,
Right.
from there, obviously she agrees to the plea deal. She has to wear the Hulk emitter, and she gets fired. She gets fired from her job. Bye.
Yep.
See you later. Hasta la vista. We don't want you here
This-
no more.
The one thing that kind of hit me was this is kind of like the She-Hulk version of the slow walk away from the 70s show as he's walking down the road and they're playing the slow music or the sad music.
Yeah.
This is the She-Hulk version of that.
Lonely man.
Mm-hmm.
Do 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 do. The lonely man. Yes. Hey, your camera went out of focus again.
Oh, geez, is it doing that crap again? Now it's back. Is it back? Yep, now it's back. I got to figure out how to get in there and turn that off. We thought it was off.
I mean, you're kind of right that it is this song. I've lost my job.
Mm.
Here's everything happening. I've got reporters up my ass at my door saying, hey, we want to talk to you. But no. Instead of talking to the press, she decides to move out and move back in with her parents.
Not by her choice, really.
Well, I mean, it kind of is.
She didn't really have much of a choice. I mean, she is in one of the most expensive places to live.
Yes.
And when you're unemployed,
yes.
Moving back in with mommy and daddy is probably
for the best.
One of the few options that you have.
Yeah, probably for the best. So from there, we move on to Jennifer and Nikki at her parents' house, and Jennifer's taken over like the whole living room because she's trying to piece together everything that's happening with her and the Hulk King and Intelligentsia.
Real quick, before you go, I wanted to say this before. Big Tank had a very good comment in the chat room. He says they ripped on today's society.
Which one?
With how she was treated.
What do you mean?
Big Tank says that they ripped on today's society with the overreaction to one event.
Oh yeah,
like I was talking
down.
About. Yeah, so they ripped on today's society of the overreaction and everything blowing up because of one thing.
Absolutely, they did,
and they definitely did.
Hands down. I mean that was like that was meta. To be honest, it was meta.
That's true. That's true.
If you think about it,
cancel
culture. It was a perfect stab in the back for that. Perfect stab in the back. So Big Tank, you make a very good point with that. So as they're going through and trying to figure out who the Hulk King is, they see Dennis Bukowski. Now, if you don't remember who Dennis Bukowski, he was in the first 2 episodes, I believe. He worked for the DA and basically just ripping her apart live on television. She was so hard to work with. She was this, she was that, she was, and this was all before she even became a She-Hulk. Clearly that pissed her off a little bit.
Right.
I mean, obviously she didn't go and crack some skulls, but it made her mad. Completely understandable. Her mother arrives and decides to start showing Nikki some old videos of Jennifer in college. In her dorm room, talking about how, she was a troublemaker and a party animal, and she's out there dancing and having a good time, living life in college. Then, of course, she asked to forward the message. Already did. So, this is where we see our first fourth wall break, where she looks up at the camera and she goes, in hindsight, I didn't want to be She-Hulk, but this doesn't bode well. This doesn't feel right. You know, it's like, I'm embracing this, and yank, out the window we go, you know?
Exactly.
And then we start hearing a narrator. And she just gets up. Nope, no. We're not doing the narrator thing. Nope, stop. No. Done. And then she decides that she's going to text Bruce and sends him a message. Just sends him a message.
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? You know, and you can see on the phone that she had been trying to text Bruce for quite some time, and he's just not answering his phone because, well, let's face it, he's on Sakaar. We know he's on Sakaar.
It's episode 3.
Yeah.
I think 3.
Episode 2 or 3. 3, yeah, because it was the Blonsky case that, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm cool with it. You know, do what you got to do. So,
right.
Clearly, Bruce isn't on planet. He can't get text messages. He's going to be away for a while.
Yeah, I'm thinking they don't have Wi-Fi reception on Sakaar.
Yeah, maybe. But then again, he was on the phone with her talking in the ship before they went, you know, into hyperspace or whatever. So she then texts Blonsky to see if he can help her. And the messages are not even being delivered. It's not getting sent to his phone. So at the same time, Nikki is uploading video of her to Intelligentsia because she wants to get down to the bottom of things and find out who Intelligentsia is. And
I like what she said. Forgive me for this, Jen.
Forgive me, Jennifer. Forgive me, Jen. Uploads the video, and right away the first comment is the Hulk King saying, "Great find." Great find. So that's an interesting thing.
Mm.
And that's when they decide, oh, there's a party? Okay. If you're a part of us, let's do it. Meet us here. Well, that was easy.
Right.
Very easy, to be exact. Well, she decides that she's going to enlist Pugalise, right? Is that how you say it, Pugalise? Or Pugalise?
Pug. They call him Pug.
Pug. Yes, that's right. They call him Pug.
Well, she had no choice. You know, because it says bro, you know.
Yeah, bro.
How she got the fact that it was a guys only kind of thing from that, I'm not sure. But she made the right move by getting Puck.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Well, at the same time, Jennifer decides that she's going to go up to Blonsky's estate there, which is Summer Twilights, and she sees Dirk. Dirk is right outside waiting for her, and, they get settled and, do what they need to do. But at the same time, Pug and Nikki are not too far behind, as we find out, because...
Or not too far away.
Well, a little bit of both, actually. I think one was on one side and one was on the other. Hey, let's meet in the middle. So,
which they kind of did.
Yeah, well, they did. Yes, that is true. That is true. And when Pug gets in there, they start talking about She-Hulk and bad-mouthing her, and she doesn't deserve these powers, and so on and so forth. And it gets to the point where Pug is trying to fit in, really. He really has nothing bad to say about Jennifer, but he's got Nikki on the other line feeding him the information that he needs to say. You gotta blend in, you gotta badmouth, you gotta do this. Well, they also find out that Todd Phelps, is in fact the Hulk King. He started Intelligentsia.
Now, what was your reaction to that?
Well, I had a feeling they were going to go somewhere down that route just because of the way they were bringing him up out of nowhere in a couple episodes, you know?
Right. Nakia says an egomaniac idiot. Yeah, I think that pretty much describes him to a T.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with that analogy.
Yes. Well, as he finds out that Todd Phelps is one of them, Todd even says, Pug, you too? Welcomes him right in. Welcomes him right in. Thank you. You know, okay, good job. Patting him on the back.
Talking him up. You know, he was their boss, and, you know, and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And so,
yeah. Well,
it worked out good for him.
As they were talking, the reception on the phone cuts out. Nikki can't get in touch with him. So now she's rushing to get in. And, well, Todd announces that, hey, this party, we're going to have a motivational speaker. And that motivational speaker just so happened to be the Abomination. Emil Blonsky comes waltzing in as Abomination. Completely in the dark about what Intelligentsia is really trying to do. Which means he is technically completely innocent in this situation. Because he has no idea.
I would agree, yeah.
He's just there to do a motivational speech. That's it. You know, as Abomination. Well,
that made me wonder when he came walking in as Abomination. It made me wonder if Blonsky did or set up his retreat where he did, where it would have no reception.
Well, that was
to monitor the inhibitor,
and that was the thought too.
Right, but the thing of it is they got the warning.
Yes, the electrical mishap.
that the monitor wasn't working correctly 2 episodes ago. So I'm kind of iffy on that theory because of the fact that they got the warning. But how many times has he done a motivational speech as Abomination?
Yeah.
Before this, you know, because he said that he's been doing it and it's purely for money.
Yeah. It's a very good question, to be honest. And at that same time, when we were watching it, Christy says to me, I don't remember Abomination having fins on his head. And I went, that's because he has evolved more and he's more like the comics.
Right.
She goes, yeah, but in the Incredible Hulk, he didn't have those. No, he didn't. He wasn't fully transformed at that point in time. So from there, Jennifer just shows up because, you know, she's already talking to Dirk and says, listen, I gotta find Amelia. And he said, yeah, I think he's got a party or something, a gathering going on down at the barn there.
At the lodge.
So she goes down and sees Blonsky as the Abomination and flips.
What the hell are you doing?
So Blonsky reverts back to his human form, like, wait, no, don't. Hey, this is what's going on. He's trying to explain. Pug then reveals to Jennifer that Phelps is the Hulk King and goes on this huge rant about how she doesn't deserve the powers. She doesn't deserve to be a Hulk. She didn't work for this, so on and so forth.
She didn't earn it.
She didn't earn it. Didn't earn it. And my first thought was, okay, I see where they're going with this. It's a possibility that the bad guy is going to, you know, do whatever he needs to do. And sure enough, that came out to be true because
it's a lucky guess.
No, this was not a lucky guess. I would love to say it's a lucky guess, but no. We even now this is not to knock Christy at all. Okay. But even she saw what was going to happen coming a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
She really did. She just,
Yeah.
she knew it was coming, you know?
I like what Nakia says. And he earned it.
Yeah.
And Nakia, in his mind,
In his mind, he did.
in his egotistical, narcissistic, idiotic mind, as you so eloquently put it, yes, he earned it because he put together the crew that
to get
did
it
the
all together.
research and enhanced his, the blood that, what was his name, Josh?
Yes. Josh.
That Josh stole from her the night they did the horizontal mambo.
Yes.
And he put all that together. So in his mind, that's how he earned it.
Yes. Did it work the right way? I don't think so.
The trash. I'll let you talk about it before I say anything. Go ahead.
Well, all right. Because clearly they're going with the angle of the bad guy using the blood to inject into his system to become a Hulk. Yay. Now, at first I was thinking to myself, man, I really hope that they go old school and just throw you for a loop where he injects the blood into his system and his body starts to melt. That would have been
good. That would have been
or
good.
exploded or something. So as he's hulking out, Titania shows up. She breaks down the door. And Walter's remarks about how messy this is. Abomination is trying to, what is it? He saves Jennifer.
Mm-hmm. The Blonsky went after her.
By picking
or
her
not
up.
Blonsky.
Yeah, like picked her up to get her out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bruce shows up. Just comes crashing through. So he gets pissed. So he's now fighting Abomination. Abomination's trying to calm him down. Like, hey, wait, no, it's a misunderstanding.
Let me explain. This isn't what you think. Give me a minute.
I'm trying to help you here. Like, no, like, what's going on here? And of course, Jennifer is completely confused about all the different plot lines matching up. And then it cuts to a Disney cutscene where it looked like the actual menu for Marvel as it was when this episode came out.
She's like, no, wait a minute. She broke the fourth wall and she looks at it, she goes, Are you digging this?
Yeah.
I mean, and then she goes, no. And then it cuts to the
Yeah.
I gotta say this though. When what's his name was transforming
The Abomination.
after he injected himself with the serum,
Yeah.
his transformation for some reason reminded me of Foghorn Leghorn when he got his head cut off.
Well, I mean, he did have a small head.
And the sounds of his bones breaking.
Yep. Just
Just I'm sitting there, and part of me's going, ow, that hurts. And part of me is just falling on the floor laughing at what was happening to him.
Lady Death says, and that effed me up. You know, you're not the only one. You're not the only one.
Yeah, when they went to the home screen, that was I was like, wait a minute, what happened? And then she talked, and I was like, okay, it's part of the show.
Well, that's what happened. Christy did the same thing. She goes, "Did you turn it off?" I'm like, "No."
Well,
and then you hear her going, "What the hell is going on with this thing, man? What the?" All right, and opens up her tile, and she pops out, looks around. And then goes.
She said one magic phrase before she did that, though.
I forget what the phrase was.
Hang on, let me take off this inhibitor.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me take off this inhibitor and become She-Hulk. Takes the inhibitor off, becomes She-Hulk, opens up the tile for She-Hulk, and then she's sitting there. She goes, "Okay, Marvel. All right, let's see here. Assembled. There it is. Don't want that one."
Behind the scenes.
Opens up the assembled and climbs in, and she's onto a movie set, onto the studio set, and she goes into the Marvel headquarters to talk to Jessica Gao and the rest of the writers. And flat out says, "What the hell are you guys doing in here?" Now, mind you, they're all sitting there talking about season 2. What's season 2 gonna do? You know,
Whole thing being a dream sequence.
yeah. And then she wakes up and she's like, "No, whose show
I
is
said,
this?"
no.
So she goes, "Well then, if you guys aren't gonna do it, who do I need to talk to? I want to talk to the man in charge. Who's in charge? That would be Kevin. I'm gonna go talk to Kevin." No, you're not.
I would kill you in order to protect Kevin,
Yes.
was one of the lines that was used.
Yes. And she goes, "Well, all right. Well, I'm going to go talk to the man named Kevin." And she walks out. Walks into the headquarters of Marvel Studios. Signs a release form.
A disclosure agreement.
Signs the disclosure agreement. She signed those plenty of times. And, and well, that's when things got weird for me. Not going to lie. Because, everybody's like, hey, nobody talks about Kevin. Nobody talks to Kevin. He's the person that does it. You're up. That's it. Nothing to it. And then she starts fighting all the security guards at Marvel
because
Studios.
the dick at reception hit the alarm.
Yeah. And she finally gets all the way through. She uses a security guard's eyeball to, get into a door.
That was awesome.
Only to find a machine named Kevin. And that's basically what it was. It was a screen with the entire Marvel Studios logo and different pictures and all that good stuff. Some clips from movies and TV shows and all that. And they made Kevin a robot.
Trying to get what the actual
meaning of
what
Kevin
it stands for.
I can tell you that.
Can you?
Knowledge Enhanced Visual Interconnectivity Nexus.
Thank you.
Also known as Kevin. Now, I don't know if that's a dig toward Kevin Feige or
Tank thinks it is.
Or if it was an homage to him.
Kevin, Tank thinks it is. Earlier, he made a comment in the chat room that he says, Kevin, love the rip on Feige.
I mean, that just goes to show you that Kevin Feige's got a good sense of humor, for one.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, seeing a former medical probe droid from Star Wars as the all-powerful seeing eye for Marvel was kind of funny. Not gonna lie.
I kind of had the AI robot from Wall-E feel.
Really?
Do it for me.
I mean, that looks like a recycled medical probe droid with a baseball hat. So I will say this. They did add the baseball hat. Because let's face it, Kevin Feige wears a baseball hat all the time. Whatever movie's coming out, that's the hat he's wearing. Makes perfect sense,
Agree.
So from there, though, she starts talking about the entire show. and how all the plot lines are getting mixed together. They're all being crushed in. And Kevin says, well, this is what the people want. This is what the fans want. And this to me was kind of more of a dig from Marvel themselves making fun of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest complaints that people have been saying about the TV shows and the movies is it's very formulaic.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a +1, +2, +3, +4. It just goes all the way down the line. A to B, C, D, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I love how they've done the digs at society for all the things that they've complained about over the years in this. I love how they did that.
Yep, absolutely. Well, during the conversation, Kevin tells her to revert back to human form because the CGI animators are expensive.
And have moved on to another project already.
So she had to revert back to her human form.
I like the fact that they said, but do it when the camera is not on you.
Yes, do it when the camera's not on you so we don't have to show it.
Because the CGI guys have already moved on to another project. I thought that was funny.
So Kevin, well, Jennifer tells him that she's unhappy with the story.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin tells her it isn't her show, but she claims it's a legal comedy and wants to state her closing argument. So she proceeds to do a closing argument as if she was in court. And that everything is thrown in all at once for the climax, and it isn't needed for her story. And Kevin says, no, it is. That's what people want. So Walters requests that Kevin erases Todd Phelps. Gets rid of the Phelps blood plot line as well as erasing the Hulk's appearance. And she also says, the Abomination needs to get reprimanded and take responsibility for his actions.
Yep.
And she wouldn't mind seeing Daredevil again.
Right. Well, and her brother just showing up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That was another one. Hulk showing up out of nowhere. And
they're cousins.
Her cousins. Sorry. I don't think she did anything with Titania though. I don't think she changed anything with that.
No, she didn't. But she did ask for the X-Men and to stop the daddy issues for every superhero that was in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then she started listing all the characters with daddy issues, from Hulk to Loki to
Iron Man to Thor.
And Kevin replies with, well, the X-Men aren't coming yet. I did like that part.
Mm-hmm.
Her just sitting there going, okay, here listen. This is the problem.
I thought it was funny the fact that she actually just sat down.
Yeah, just sat down and just started talking.
Sat down, and even Kevin's like, "Oh, we're sitting now."
Yeah. So Jennifer says, let's focus on season 2 instead. And the machine informs her that the glitch in the platform has been fixed, and she leaves, but not before Kevin teases her about getting a movie, only to say he was joking.
See you on the big screen.
See you on the big screen?
No.
Not really. So as she leaves, she's back in her own show, and Abomination's getting arrested. He's taking responsibility for his actions. He violated parole.
Back to jail for 10 years.
Todd Phelps is getting arrested because, hey, he was doing whatever. Titania gets arrested, and Daredevil just shows up out of nowhere to help. And she says, well, it's too late.
And everything's already done. One of the things that I found interesting,
yes,
that I actually appreciated about this part,
mm-hmm.
was the fact that, if you'll remember, when they were in Jen's parents' house and her assistant were talking.
Yep.
Jen was emphasizing the fact that she wanted to make them pay in court. She wanted them to be punished the legal way.
Yes.
And when it flashed back to this scene, she's in She-Hulk form. When she comes up to Todd, and Todd goes, "Let's just get it over with," and he closes his eyes like he's ready to get punched.
Yeah.
And she transforms back to Jen Walters, and just simply looks at him and goes, "See you in court."
See you in court. Real simple,
And
real easy.
I really appreciated them tying that back together. For some reason, it meant a lot to me for some reason, just that they did that tie together.
Lawyer show.
Well,
Lawyer show. That's basically what it is. A lawyer show. Big Tank says, at least at the end, we now have a full roster for Young Avengers. Yes. And the reason being is because while this is all happening, there's doing like an outdoor barbecue / dinner that Matt Murdock is a part of as a guest of Jennifer Walters. And Hulk shows up because, this is the other break of the fourth wall where, hey, sorry I've been gone, guys. Well,
by the way,
I have a son. I'd like to introduce my son, Scar. Here he is, Scar. So clearly the Hulk got lucky.
I was going to say, that makes me question, who did Scar do the horizontal mumbo with?
No, Scar's the son.
Or who did Hulk do the horizontal mumbo with in order to have Scar?
According to the World War Hulk storyline, his mother is... Hang on. I can tell you. Hold on.
She wasn't. He wasn't the baby that was. What the hell movie was that? Oh God! It was one of the fantasy games. Oh, I can't think of it now.
You mean like World of Warcraft?
Something like that, yeah.
Dungeons.
But they went through the portal and came to Earth, and we were fighting them, and blah blah blah.
Stargate?
I can't. No, not Stargate. I can't think of it. I'll have to find it.
So his mother is, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher this name, Kyra the Old Strong. She's also known as the Shadow Queen in Marvel. So her and the Hulk had some fun. And bringing in Scar, which is perfectly fine. Scar is a Young Avenger, so Big Tank does make a very good point of the Young Avengers. So in the next couple of days, Jennifer's cleared of all her crimes. Reporter asks Walters if she will come after people as She-Hulk or Walters, and she replies saying both. She's going to do it as both. So she's got the legal power, and she's also got the superpower to be a superhero. So, yay for that.
It is World of Warcraft Legion.
See, there you go. That's
but
awesome.
The question is, was that who the mother was? Oh, I was wondering if they were trying to tie those together or something.
Oh, yeah. Big Tank says she's a Skrull. No, she's not. She's part of the Shadow People of Sakaar. Look it up. You will see I'm right. Make sure it's Earth 616 because that is the main prime comic of Earth. And the MCU, apparently. They're doing that with the MCU. So MCU is 616 as well. But as she's cleared of all her crimes, it cuts to the credits. We see the mid-credits. And we see a mid-credits scene right afterwards where Blonsky is in prison and Wong opens up a portal and breaks him out.
Yeah.
Breaks him out.
I think I'll take you up on that place to escape to thing.
Yeah. So Abomination is clearly free and out of prison. So, yeah. In the long run, and like I said, I have a feeling that JT and I are going to be very close on the same page of my rating of
I
this
went
episode.
first, and I did this for a reason. I went first last week, so
Yes.
it's your turn.
Oh yeah, no, I know. So, with the storyline as it goes, now mind you, this is just the episode.
Mhm.
I am giving the episode a 3. Yep.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I know which direction you went.
Yep. The reason why
I was going to say, explain.
is the fact that they broke the fourth wall so much in this episode that she automatically rewrote the entire ending of the episode, which clearly means that they did not have an actual ending for the episode. They didn't. They didn't have an ending. They had a happy ending. All the people got in trouble. They all got arrested. They all went to jail. They all did whatever. However, I think that's what threw the entire episode off, to be honest. Would it have been cool to see Hulk and Abomination fight again? Absolutely. Absolutely. But the blood plot line, I agree with. That was horrible. We kind of saw it coming a mile away. Mostly from episode 3, episode 4, give or take. And there was no actual conclusion. There wasn't. There was no conclusion. The fight scene didn't even happen. Like, son of a bitch. What about you?
Go back and watch the first when they fought the first time, and you'll be happy.
No, I won't. What about you?
Well, first, Nakia gives it 4 3/4 gamma bombs for the episode.
Okay.
She says, and overall score for the series overall, she gives 4.5 and says, I really just loved that the fourth wall smashed. And no, there wasn't an ending, but it was a nice opening left for season 2.
Yes.
Now, I will tell you that Nakia and I had a small conversation
Okay.
earlier this evening about the show.
Okay.
And we both agree with the fact that they better freaking have a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to have a season 2 for this show. If they don't, I will be almost as upset as if they didn't do a season 3 of Mandalorian, which I still think we have to wait too long for. But that's beside the point. The other thing that was talked about during this little conversation was the fact that I will be giving the highest score I have ever given.
What?
Now, Sully, to this point, what is the highest score I have ever given?
I believe 4 3/4. You've never actually given any episode a 5 unless it was Falcon and Winter Soldier.
4.9. To this point, I have only the highest I've given was a 4.9. And there goes my damn camera again. Jesus. I will explain something first, and then I will give my score.
Okay.
Up until the convoluted possible ending to the show, I was where you were,
Okay.
or are. I was at a 3.5.
Okay.
The ending that they were going to was just way, 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 way too messy.
Right.
Way too messy. You had 5 different storylines all crashing together in one room. You had Titania, you had Abomination, you had Todd, you had the Hulk. Actually 6, because you had her assistant and Pug.
Yep.
And then you had her. So you had 6 different storylines coming together in one room at one time.
Yes.
Way too much. At that point, I was damn near sitting at a 2.5.
Okay.
And in my mind, not only as Nakai, but did they smash the 4th wall.
Mm-hmm.
I think they blew up the 5th wall too. I don't know if there is a 5th wall, but I'm making one. Because Jen sat there and went in and completely changed just about everything. I love that they did that. To me, that put this episode over the top because it is something you have never seen before in any movie that I can recall.
It's true.
Where the lead character has actually gone in and said, whoa, time the hell out. This isn't working. This isn't working for the people watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
We need to fix it. And this is what we need to do to fix it. And she fixed it.
She did.
I agree with the fact that it's going to be tricky to explain this one. I agree with the fact, like you guys say, that there really wasn't an ending, but yet there was. Because if you think back to the interviewer at the end of the movie,
Yep.
or at the end of the show, where he talks about because of what she did, because of everything that she did, she was exonerated for her charges.
Yes.
And, you know, she got her lawyer license back and all of that good stuff. She was back into court. She was going into to sue Todd and all that.
Yes.
So, in a way, there wasn't an ending, but it wasn't the classic ending that we always get out of Marvel. So, where I agree that it didn't have an ending, at the same time, in my opinion, it did, because it closed that chapter, but it left another chapter open.
Oh, without a
Does that
doubt.
make sense?
It does.
Okay.
And there is something called the 5th wall.
Is there? Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know.
And the 5th wall is exactly what Jennifer did. It's being that character, breaking out of that show
storyline,
or, you know, that whole thing where you're basically yourself changing the way things are.
Okay. So I actually
Yes.
was calling it the right thing then.
You were. Yep. Yep.
Well, it's not that I can recall. I mean, granted, I haven't watched every movie ever made like you have,
Mm-hmm.
but that I can recall of that has never been done on screen before.
Right.
Okay. Because of that whole 5-minute interlude
Yes.
in this episode, I am giving this episode a 5.
Wow.
I am giving this episode a 5. And it's a combination of how classically they've done the 4th wall throughout every episode, like we talked about,
Yep.
and blowing up the 5th wall in this episode.
I mean, they did do a good job on that. That's for sure.
And again, doing it very classily, doing it with a lot of class. I mean, going to the menu screen for Disney,
yeah.
you know, I mean, for me, it's on Fire Stick, but going to that, you know, to that screen and saying, okay, wait, here, where can I, that's where I need to go. And going in there and boom, you're on the Disney lot.
Yeah.
You know,
You're not wrong.
It was beyond anything to me. So for me, this episode is a 5.
All right. And what
Gotta
about the
do it.
overall?
Overall, I'm giving it 4 3/4.
Okay.
4 3/4. I mean, one of the I enjoyed every episode.
All right.
There's only one other series that we've done where I've enjoyed every episode, and that was Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That is true.
Great series all the way through. The fight scenes that they did have, which weren't very many, which is also refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that they did have were enjoyable. The fourth wall, like I said, from beginning to end, blowing the fifth wall up, it was great. 4 3/4 for me.
No, hey, listen, if I didn't give it a 3, it probably
if it weren't for the
same.
last 10 minutes of this episode.
Yeah, it really was. the last 10 minutes kind of messed it all up. But I am giving it a 4. 4 gamma bombs is what I'm giving it. So overall, great series.
Mm-hmm.
Not the greatest, not the best, but
Right.
good entertainment. It was fun.
Yeah.
Forgot about
Very
life
enjoyable
for a while, you know.
And I think this is one of the most family friendly superhero series that they've done.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you still had the PG-13 rating, pretty much, because that's what they are. They're PG-13 ratings. But in the long run, I mean, I thought they did a pretty good job. I did, you know, breaking the fourth wall, just like you said. It was very subtle in all of them. It wasn't forced down your throat until that last episode.
Like Deadpool.
It was still cool how they did it. But yeah. So, all in all, that's where we stand. Which also brings us to the end of Avenger Pretenders for this series of She-Hulk. However,
Realize that this is the furthest you and I have ever been apart on a rating for any show.
I know.
Or
crazy.
series.
Crazy, right?
Isn't it?
It's crazy.
And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of, if you went this way, yeah, we were on the same page. But if you went that way, then we weren't. And you went way that way. I did not expect a 3. I expected maybe a 4 or a 3.5.
That
the whole 3.
I mean, the way they, don't get me wrong, it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
But
it just hit you differently than it hit me.
Yeah, it really did. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because all the other episodes.
That's the thing about us, you know, is
that's the rating.
That difference between us.
That's the rating. So that is the end of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Oh.
Will we see a season 2? Still up in the air. Will we see her again? Most likely. We've got a lot of movies coming out. It's a possibility.
That's the question. Will it be on the big screen?
Yeah, will it be on the big screen? Just kidding. The other thing is we will be doing a special Avenger Pretenders next week because we have to review the hour-long special Werewolf by Night, where we'll break it down. We'll talk about the scenes. We'll do exactly what we do. And we'll get into Andor.
We still need, we got to get Carol. We got to get our name from Carol for the new Star Wars name.
We do. 2 droids and a lightsaber. 2 droids with a lightsaber and pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew.
2 drum droids.
Stay on target. We can't hit it. I'm funny. Anyway, that, my friends, is Avenger Pretenders for this week. We will be back next week for Werewolf by Night, which just so happens to be, the week before Halloween. So, yay. Yay. It's going to be awesome. Just saying. And with that, we will see you tomorrow for the Sully Show. For JT, the almost always toothless wonder, and myself, we will see you tomorrow. And of course, next week for Avenger Pretenders, where we'll be reviewing Werewolf by Night. Have a great one, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bob.
Avenger Pretenders away!
Avenger Pretenders away! Yay!